Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have soundtrack number one. Yeah, this is a Korean romance drama. Um, yeah, this is if have you ever seen Korean dramas or kind of like the telenovelas? They tend to be kind of out of this world, kind of really energetic, kind of really super engaging as well in many ways. I've seen my fair share, not a ton, but I've seen a little bit here and there. They're obviously super popular in Korea, South Korea, and this is another one. It's a miniseries. It's only 4 episodes long. It's from 2022. It's romance, it's music, it's drama, it's funny, and it is overdubbed. It's I'm sure you could probably get an original language translation, just sort of change things out if you want. It does subtitle things here and there as needed, but it is kind of, I like it a lot. I didn't expect to. These things tend to be, I mean, Disney Plus, we've seen a few other things, and some of them either from Japan or China or Korea, they really lean into the culture, especially classic culture. Is we like here, like in England or here in America, we like to tend to look at like Victorian times, like older times when everybody was Bridgerton, let's just say, and we were, we kind of look at things in a more romantic period, a more, I don't know. This is very modern. This is focusing. It's a 1-2. It's two main characters through 90% of this. There are a few. There's a roommate, and there's a producer, and then there's friends, family. There's a few more probably. They're going to show up through different episodes. I've only watched one episode, but you get Park Hyung-sik and So-hee playing Han Sang-woo and Lee Eun-soo. Very Korean, super duper Korean, and I've just slaughtered those names for everyone to hear. I'm very linguistic. So in this, it's a story that's been told a lot, and it's a story that I think a lot of us have probably experienced. I know I have. It's a romance between two people who know each other so incredibly well. This is the story of two friends who have known each other since they were 9 years old and been best friends ever since. And they are so close, they're so close to each other that they could never imagine a romantic entanglement. At least one of them can't. And one of them is a songwriter, and the other one is a photographer. Neither of them wanted to be Taylor Swift. Nobody wants to be a pop star in this one, which is kind of great. Like the last 2 episodes, by the way, last 2 series we watched, like Andy Mac before that, and before that it was Always Me, which was a Mexican or Colombian soap opera, and Andy Mac, which is a sort of a coming of age, teenage emotional struggle of, can we be friends? Can we be romantic? Can we be both or neither? Both of those seem to have built into this. It's like everything was meant to be as I'm watching this. They're not connected, but they seem like they'd be connected because all these elements flow through all of them. He is very much into this very pretty best friend of his. And she is oblivious. She's a songwriter. She's supposed to write romantic songs, but she's never really had a crush, and she's never felt unrequited love. She's sick of breakup songs and things like that she hears on the radio, but she's been tasked with a job of writing a song, and the person who's like the producer, the studio or something like that, this guy is like, says, you know what? No, your song's not working out. They don't feel genuine. They don't feel like you've felt heartbreak or you've felt longing. It doesn't feel real. At the same time, Sang-woo is taking pictures and going through his photos. And oh, by the way, the very first thing we see between the two of them is him taking photographs of her for her headshots or whatever reason it is. She's like, oh, I'd rather have you take them than pay somebody else. He's like, you don't pay me. It's I'm just doing it, because we're friends. And she realizes that she's taking advantage of him, and she is very much a hot mess. She spends a lot of the first episode drunk, and he is so patient in dealing with her, I don't know, wildness. She's emotional in any way that is not romantic, at least around him. And he's dealt with her breaking up with a boyfriend. Again, they've lived in each other's lives forever. And there is a moment in a flashback, just like a year prior, when she had broken up with a boy, and their friends suggest, "Oh, why don't you two get together?" And she's like, "You know what? I don't like my ex-boyfriend, and I miss him, but I'm gonna live without him. That's fine. If Sung-woo and I got together and it didn't work out, I would not be able to live without him. Like, my world would be utterly destroyed." And she says this matter-of-factly. She doesn't say this in any emotional, like, "Oh my God, I can't live without you." It's just a fact to her. It is absolutely without, it's probably the most emotional she gets when she's not drunk. And she's funny drunk. She's not terrifying, screaming, messy, angry, or violent, or anything else kind of drunk. She is self-pitying. She is very much about herself. She is very self-absorbed in herself. But she's not a bad person. I think it's not. It doesn't depict her as a bad person. She's genuinely attractive. She's genuinely, I think, sweet, and I think she is, to a degree, I don't know if I'm projecting or not, deserving of his affection, which he holds very quietly to himself and has told no one. When she bugs him about, "Oh, what about, when you went to America, didn't you meet up with all sorts of girls and have a girlfriend there?" And he lies to her and says, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "Oh, didn't she have a name like Becky or Jennifer?" He's like, "Yeah, it was a Jennifer." "Don't you have pictures of it? Or you're a photographer, why don't you take pictures?" No. I don't have pictures. I'm telling you most of the first episode, but because I think it's worthwhile to give you an idea of what this interaction is like, give you an idea of what these people are like. It is well written. It is really well acted, and the overdub is really good. The American language version of these performances, you already know there's chemistry between these two actors as it is. They're really good on camera. The cinematography, it looks, it's wintertime in South Korea, and it looks gorgeous. Just the shots of the two of them talking, you wouldn't think it would be that interesting, especially if you're just like, "Oh, I've seen my share of Korean soap operas. Whatever, it's gonna be just another sleepy pining and then sweeping up." It's the standard romance you get in any culture, pretty much, just with Korean flair to it. No, I've not actually seen anything like that. I've not seen a ton of Korean soap operas. And I don't want to, soap opera seems like a dirty word in these cases, and I don't want to say that this is a soap opera. This is a miniseries. It's a romantic miniseries, and that is the crux of it. But I can understand why he's attracted to her. She is funny. She is sweet, and she is just sort of this ball of chaos where he is so utterly reserved, but yet they've remained friends for nearly 20 years between the two of them. Yes, they're late 20s, adults. So it's not like some sort of weird teen coming of age thing like Andy Mack. This is fully about romance, and there's no like, did somebody murder my father subplot like It Was Always Me from 2 days ago. It is fully about them. And of course, music plays into this, but neither of them are song makers. She is a songwriter, and she is having writer's block. She cannot write the song that she needs to write, and he is feeling uninspired in his photography. Or he's inspired, but what inspires him, it might reveal more than he wants. So yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch the rest of these. There's only 4 episodes, so it's not really that much of an investment. But this is, each of them about 45, 50 minutes long, somewhere around there. I have to admit I like it. I really do. It's not made for me. I'm not the general audience for this. It's not. I'm not into romances as is. I am not Korean. This wasn't originally filmed for me as in the audience. When these things are made, they usually have a generally specific audience in mind. It's usually young single women, or older women too. Yeah, sure. It's just usually not me. And I think the two of them are just, like I said, the acting and the overdub is solid on this. And I think the way it was directed, it shows, like, I imagine this isn't necessarily a Disney Plus type of thing in Korea, but it's being brought over here via Disney Plus. So honestly, before this ever gets taken away, I say invest like everything else. I would invest 4 episodes, 4 hours of time, almost 4 hours of time to check this out. Because I have a feeling, I mean, these kind of things, I imagine they might have a resolution. It might be, who knows, it might be frustrating, get annoying after the second episode. I have no idea. But progress is made to a certain degree in the first episode, which gives me hope that it's not going to just, I don't think it's going to, it's not going to be a multi-season drag out. It's not the OC or Buffy or, what, all these different things where romance is kind of the crux between the two leads, and they can never be together. And it's not that. It's you can see it heading in a direction, but you're rooting for him. But will it happen? Well, I am going to find out. I'm actually going to watch this. Like everything else I say I'm going to watch, I have a boatload of stuff that I haven't caught up on. A lot of Spider-Man series. But I think it just has a great aesthetic, and I laughed, and I don't know, it just looks great. And I think, you know what, maybe I can't tell. Some of these names seem familiar, like maybe they've shown up in other stuff. I don't know. Maybe in America, that'd be great if they did. But I think they might be superstars in, seriously? Park Hyung-sik? Is he one of the BTS guys? I can't tell. No. But one of his pictures in his profile shows him in that thing we watched a few days ago or weeks ago with the Korean guys just sitting around doing nothing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I've talked too long about this. I actually recommend this. It's not for everybody, no. But if you can handle a good, solid, low-key, romantic... I don't want to say romantic comedy, because comedy is not the point of it, but they are funny. Particularly her. But they are funny, and their delivery is just perfect and real. And that's a great thing. It's not just... It's not traditional like I've seen in the past. So you'll understand once you see it. So check it out. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
425.
425. Well, by the way, happy 4th of July. It's the 4th of July, right? Jeez. I did say 425, but lost track. 425. Scroll. Not scroll. Oh, okay. Well, we're back to documentaries, but I have a feeling this is not, it could be just a single, 45 minutes, or it might be a series. I'm not sure, but it's something that I'm very interested in, and I've been wanting to see for a while, assuming it's not been taken away. Disney Plus. we're going to watch the Pixar story. Yeah. We're going to learn all about Pixar. I recently saw Elemental, the most recent Pixar film. That'll eventually be on Disney Plus in the next 2 months, probably. And I'll watch that on the day it comes out. But for now, for tomorrow, we're going to watch a Pixar story, or the Pixar story, on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.